Whispers float in empty halls. Footsteps echo down the walls. Shadows break where secrets lie. Every echo holds a hidden sign. Blow the trace along the crine, a hush that haunts the night, a fear that lives in light. Unravel lines of twisted lies. In the dark, the story waits unseen.
And here we go.
Am I on? What did they do to this thing?
Whispers float in empty halls. Footsteps echo down the walls. Shadows break where secrets lie. Every echo holds a hidden sign. Blow the trace along the crine, a hush that haunts the night, a fear that lives in light. Unravel lines of twisted lies. In the dark, the story waits unseen.
And here we go.
Hi guys. Hold on. I want to mess with my chat. It doesn't show how many people are here. They've changed this thing, and I don't like what they did to it. Because it looks weird now. I can't even see how many people are here. I don't know why they did that. It's kind of making me mad. I don't like when they go changing things that work just fine. I kind of like that one because it's purple. What is this one? They're like little LOL emojis. I don't get that. I don't know. I like that one, but you can't really, I don't know, it looks weird. Let's try that one. There we go. All right. Hey guys. Anyways, they changed everything, and I can't even see like how many people is here or anything. I don't know why they took that off, but they changed the whole in live studio. At first, I couldn't even figure out how to whatever it's called, how to edit whatever I needed to edit, or add my schedule, add it on the schedule. Hey. Oh, this guy again. I think I figured that out. I think I blocked it. Okay. It should work now. Okay, don't need to reload it. Well, we always time him out. He was the one saying, oh, Nancy's in Mexico. So I'm like, is that the tomato nader? I don't know. So I thought, so I'm doing the intuitive guidance questions today like I always do. Got to catch up after spending so many days in Tucson. And so yeah, scrolling across the bottom, we do it like we normally do. I did get some new rods. We can do that to start off. If people have yes or no questions, that would be fun to do. I've actually already used them today. I actually really like them. Why am I freezing? Mercury retrograde, stop. freaking freezing again. I probably have too much shit open. Tomatonator, yeah. I don't know. It could be. Oh, here we go. Now I can see how many people are here. 27. Why did they move that? I don't like it. I don't like how they changed everything. Oh, well. I figured it out now. Now I know where everything is, but that's just... They, like, switched it all around. Usually they'll show it, like, here on the screen, and now it's way up here. That's kind of annoying. So yeah, these are interesting. They're a little lighter than regular rods. I actually kind of like them. I like the way that they move better than my other ones. I thought we'd have a little bit... I don't know if, like, he's just being a jerk or if he's trying to be funny. So I blocked him, but I don't know if he was just joking. Well, him coming in and saying that Nancy was in Mexico was kind of dumb, so... I don't know. I was going to go live last night, and I was exhausted. I was exhausted from the 2 days in Tucson, and I was just like, I can't do it. And I have a reading at 6, so we're not going to be on forever tonight. I was just too tired to do it last night. Hey, Trista. I did. I slept yesterday. That's what I was saying. I was going to come live last night, and then Tracy's like, it's 3 hours difference now because we didn't move, but everybody else did. So now we're Pacific time. So now people are 3 hours ahead. So I was like, shoot, no one will even be there. And I was just too tired, so I couldn't do it. I actually fell asleep with the EVP on. So I have about an hour of EVP to listen to see what they say. The one thing I know is I had said in the EVP, I'm like, okay, I got to get up and, feed the dogs and stuff. And the EVP said, move it. The REM pod went off all night. I don't know. It started it went off when I was on the phone with my mom, and then it stopped, and it went off again about midnight, 11:30 midnight, something like that. I went all day, and it was just freaking out. Listen to EVPs of for Nancy on another channel, and it started going wild, but it was dead, so all the lights were on, and it was just like screaming at me. So I was like, do I stop it or what? I put new batteries in, and it's been quiet since. Hey, Jessica. It's Rochelle, not Raquel, but good to see you. I did block him. Tristan. Like I said, I don't know if he was trying to be funny with Tracy or, yesterday when he was like, because he pops in every day, so he's like trolling, What'd you do? The dog did that. The dog did that by hitting that thing. I don't know. So. It's okay. Well, I only said that because people like to call me Raquel and Rachel. So, well, I couldn't block him. I couldn't block him before on the phone, but I was able to do it on here. So we'll see if he's able to come back again. But we had timed him out for 24 hours, so We think it's the Tomatonator. I didn't see him because I couldn't read every comment. I know somebody wanted to marry me the other day. Hey, Miss Gloria. And I was like, you got money? I was like, you don't want to marry me. I'm way too independent for you, I guarantee it. I saw this one lady say, if I get married again, they're going to have their own house. I think that's just about right. So I didn't see him, but now that you're saying that, I'm glad I blocked him. But I couldn't see I don't see a lot of the chat when I'm driving, obviously. So all taken care of now unless he gets another screen name. But I did get a marriage invitation that day. Yeah. So, was what a good one? Oh, the marriage? I don't know. He was just in there. I asked him if he was rich. So I don't want to give too much away on the whole trip to Tucson. I mean, I've turned it in to the FBI tip line. I turned in a couple different things. I don't think they're going to listen. I was trying to find a direct line to somebody, and I haven't been able to find a direct email to anybody. I found myself back where I always find myself. I'll just say that. Where I originally had my stroke feeling. I always find myself there, and it matches my dream. So that's all I have to say on that. There was that's what we were joking about. We did have a spirit book. Oh, that's one thing that came in the EVP that I forgot to tell you, Tracy. In the EVP, it said, "I love you." I was like, "Oh, spirit says they love me," and it was a male voice last night. But I haven't listened to the whole thing. There was some clear things, and then there was a lot of gibberish. So I don't know. I have about an hour because I was sleeping. I fell asleep with it on twice, so I don't know what's on there. No telling. Other than they're telling me to move it. Yep, that's true. No losers allowed. And able to live in your own house. Yeah, we had one. Well, we don't always know. Like, we always say that, but we never know what the future holds. If you're meant to be with someone, you will. That's just the way that it works. So, we choose that before we're ever born. Should we ask the Rods if they'll find bodies at Zorro Ranch? Because there's an investigation going on there. Trump tried to stop it. It didn't work. New Mexico took over. Oh, did I just see the EMF spike? Oh, it is spiking. Yeah, I'm a mess. Gonna have to redo my hair again. The rods did say, they did say yes to my area. I don't know how much I trust the rods. Like, I'm kind of this on them. I try to keep my mind clear, but I don't put like everything into them. But for Nancy, I asked about the location today with them about 50 times. They're probably like, what the hell? I got the same answer every time. I asked about other areas and I got a no every time. So that's all I have to say on that. I asked about the area for Bella and I got a yes. And yesterday, or whatever day it was, the day before yesterday, I now kind of know why I was supposed to take Zook. Because Zook is a highfalutin dog, right? He's very handsome. He fits into that community well. Yeah, you're going to get bit, you dummy. He fits into that community well because, he's a handsome guy and he looks like a Shepsky. And a lot of people were driving by, rolling down their windows, telling me how handsome he was. Look, the ball's going off. I don't think the bird or anybody did that. But, we first got there, we got caught in the rain. So there was that. So we first got there and we were walking and I was like, oh crap, I have to go pee. So I had to go down to PetSmart because I don't want to leave him in the car. So then we had to come back. Then we came back, it was getting ready to rain. Me and Zook were walking. Tracy was on the phone and it started to thunder and lightning. But before that, I looked at my phone and it said it wasn't supposed to be there till like 6 o'clock or something. They lie. So this lady, she's like standing there waiting for me. And I'm like, why is she standing there waiting for me? And she's like, acts like she wants to walk up to me. I'm like, why is she like standing there? And she had a dog with her. And so I start to walk up and yeah, he is a conversation starter. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we look like non-obvious, right, when we're walking around. And so she's like, oh, she knows this dog. Like, this dog lives down the street. And I'm like, no, he doesn't live down the street. She's like, oh, there's a dog that looks just like him. He's a Shepsky. He lives on the corner. And like, this dog says hi to him all the time. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, this is Zook, not the same dog. And she's like, oh, this dog's name is Isabella. I almost fell out. I don't know many dogs named Isabella. Like, legit. I had to think it was a sign from our lovely Isabella that tends to always make herself known in the wildest of ways. So then it started raining, so me and Zook walked back to the car, and right when we got in the car, there was a rainbow. And Tracy's like, oh my God, taste the rainbow. Because that's what she said to me when she made me buy Skittles that one day. So those are pretty cool signs from Isabella. Yeah, I was trying to walk by really fast, and that other dog came just in time, so that's where his attention was. So that was fine by me. I had to get to I had to kind of go around because I wanted to walk past that construction house again. Because interestingly enough, FBI was there the next day after I stopped there and was looking at it. And there's some interesting things we found out about it. I don't know how it's involved because Alan came in the EVP last night. That name follows me everywhere. And Tracy found that there's somebody that like is involved with that house named Alan. So I don't know, honestly. But yeah, I was trying to walk by really fast. I actually drove by and Tracy's like, oh my God, was that you? And I'm like, yeah, because I drove by like a couple minutes before and I thought maybe it was a delay. And so she starts laughing. And he didn't catch me. It wasn't me. It was another car, another orange car. So she had that a little confused. But it was around the same time that I had just drove by. But I did go into the wash right there really close to her house. And there was like I didn't know that they had like the manholes for like water there, but I could hear it running. I was like, oh my gosh, it kind of sounds like what was on the EVP. So we got to use underwater camera and I stuck the camera down there. So that was pretty cool. And then, yeah, and it's a little confusing because there's other layers to it. And, it makes me second guess everything because I don't understand the rest of it. I don't understand it. But needless to say, in my tip, I mentioned maybe the timeline was off. Maybe it was her going in, not coming out with the blood drops. Maybe they need to look at this a different way, and told them an area to check. I don't know. So that's basically it for now. Because I keep going back to that stroke feeling that I had, and I did have a headache when I was there again, and so I don't know. The rods kept telling me today. I don't know. It matches the cards. Like, it matches the cards. It matches some of EVP. It matches my dream. I have no way of checking it, though, unfortunately. Law enforcement will have to do that, so. So that's where we're at. And we're doing questions today so that I can catch up on everything. Yes, it was cool. So that's what's going on right now with everything. I went from where I was gonna go look to somewhere else. So that's all I can say. So is anybody signing up for questions today? I came early because of this. Because of the time change. Yep. That's why I'm here. 'Cause, this is my work. So let's see. Let's ask the rods about Zorro Ranch. Can you show me yes, please? Can you show me no, please? Thank you. So, are they going to find human remains at Zorro Ranch at all? Oh, the EMF is spiking. Why is it? It's telling me no. Are they going to find human remains at Zorro Ranch? Wait, let me put my feet on the ground. Are they going to find human remains at Zorro Ranch? Yeah, it does keep spiking. I see that. I had to uncross my legs. I stopped in the energy. It's giving me a yeah. See, these rods move a little differently because they're lighter. So we'll see. Anything else you want me to ask? And I can only be here till like 5 at the latest because I have a reading at 6. If you do, I'll move the camera down a little bit. Why is everybody so freaking quiet today? We have 40 people in here. This is why I like evening lives. You guys are much more chatty. You can ask anything. Just know that I can't diagnose. I can't tell you when you're going to die. I can't tell you when somebody else is going to die. Like, those are basically the only, and I'm not a lawyer, so those are basically the only rules that I have. You know, I can't tell you how an illness is going to turn out, but that's basically it. You can ask anything else. I do pregnancy questions if that's what you're talking about. And then, you know, just keep in mind that you still have free will. So I always tell people that readings are always possibilities and guidance. Okay, Chica, thanks. You didn't come to the wine and crime. EMF spiking again. Oh, Justice is laying with Violet. It's cute. Zook was give out that day. I don't think he's walked that much in a while. Justice, did you set off the ball? I don't know if he set off the ball or not. He might have. He's like kind of pinned against the thing. No. I can tell you no on that one. Okay. And Void Gaming, what's your name? If she's where I think she is, no one can find her except for FBI. If she's there, like I said, I don't know. My pendulum, my rods, they all say yeah. My feelings say yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. My dream, I don't know though. I can't say for sure. Where'd you send it, Vimo? Just want to make sure I got it. I know you do, Tracy. I mean, I felt relief after we went back over and whatever we did that day. I felt relief, so that's another feeling, but I mean, I just don't know. Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to double check. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a huge weight. That's what I'm saying. Like everything's saying yes, but the thing with pendulum and rods is they're an extension of you. So, I mean, I just know how I felt in that neighborhood and how I always feel in that neighborhood. That's all I'm saying. So, um, well, everything in your life is supposed to be in limbo right now. Usually, when we're at a standstill or we're kind of stuck, it's because we're supposed to. It's almost like out of alignment. Like you need to get into alignment. So as far as your distant love, that's not supposed to be anything you're supposed to be focusing on right now, because if that's in limbo, there's a reason that that's in limbo. Love, relationships, anything like that comes in the timing that it's supposed to. As far as your business, there needs to be changes with your business, evolvement with your business. Now is a time to sit and plan your growth. So whenever we're in a limbo phase, it's supposed to be about planning, growing, evolving, and figuring out our next step. Find out what's working for us and what's not working for us. Does that make sense? So sometimes we get stuck. Sometimes it's the astrology, but sometimes it is just that we need to reconstruct what we're doing in life, the direction we're going with our business. So there needs to be changes made in regards to that. New directions looked at, things like that. So it's a growth period, right? Kind of like growing pains, if that makes sense. Again, relationships for you, I don't think really come in until 2027. As far as really knowing what you want and where it's going to go, if that makes sense. Well, no one really knows where we're ever going to be. That's the thing. As a psychic, I can't tell you where you're going to be exactly. It doesn't work like that. We're not supposed to know everything about our lives because we can't learn and enjoy the journey that way. So it's one of those things, like, you have to kind of just enjoy the journey and continue on your path and quit thinking about tomorrow. It's like living in the moment and being in the moment. Can you manifest things in the future? Most definitely. You can, manifest what you want, think about what you want, have that type of mindset, but it's not to become obsessive over it and just wondering where you're going to go next all the time, because then you lose the here. So that's why you're being stalled. Spirit wants you to recognize the here and now and not live in tomorrow. Does that make sense? Not live in the future. You're living too far in the future. You're worried too much about what's going to happen next when you're just supposed to be living in the moment. And as far as your business, though, like I said, there needs to be, it's coming across like new directions, new ideas, certain things that have to be, like, we're always trying to grow our, business, but sometimes we have to bring in new things in order for businesses to grow. Does that make sense? So I feel like 2027 will be a good year for, like, your relationship and figuring out what you want to do with that and, like, that growing. But right now, this moment, this is about you, and this is about your career, you and your career. I think that you need to I know that you've been single for a while and stuff like that, but I think that you need to take time for just you. Not everybody else, just you. Focusing on what you want, whether you write down a list of things that you want to accomplish, whether you sit down and make a strategy, because that's what's coming up. Like, they want you to make a list, make a strategy, make new plans. And so you're going to end up where you're meant to be, period. We never end up where we're not supposed to be. And I can't tell you where you're going to be in 3 months, because sometimes we have to enjoy the lessons. We can't learn our lessons if a psychic tells you everything that happens every month or where you're going to exactly be. Spirit doesn't always show that to us for a reason. But do I feel like you'll have movement in the next 3 months? Yeah. You're going to move from where you're at now to then, but you have to take the steps to do so. You can't sit back and just expect things to kind of fall in your lap, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's what I mean. And that's what this is about. This year is about new beginnings, but it's also about focusing on yourself and making plans and making changes and growing and evolving. Like, that's what Spirit is saying, like, where you're at right now. And so when you're out of alignment, you kind of get stuck until you get back into alignment. In order to get back into alignment, you have to bring it inward, if that makes sense. Because I think that there's ways that you can grow your business that you haven't thought about yet, because you're looking too far in the future instead of now and trying to figure out, hey, this is a good idea, or that is I think you've actually had ideas, but you're like, but I think you need to go back and revisit those ideas and see if there's a way that you can make them work or make them better, if that makes sense. But I feel like, you're going to have movement in the next couple months. April kind of highlights for you is like starting to move forward. By the middle of the year, July, you're going to kind of know exactly where you're headed. And, next year, I feel like is going to be the year for more growth, partnership, things like that. So this year is kind of like setting the stage for next year. Do you know what that means? You know what I mean? Okay, that makes sense. And that's where the new ideas and everything are coming in at. That's something that you have to figure out. You don't even need to name them. You give them a name. It doesn't matter. Names don't matter for guides. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So now is the time for you to refocus, right? So you're refocusing your energy on you and your new business and your new ideas and all of that. That's what this is about. And it's going to take time to grow. Yes. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the dog. Remember, rejection is protection and a redirection. So you're being redirected, but you have to take what you've learned and put it into this business and put it into yourself. Again, this is like the fire horse. This is like moving. This is like growing. This is evolving. You're going to be galloping forward this year. But it just feels like you're a little stuck right now because, we're just entering out of like losing of our skins and all that. And it feels like, again, by next month, you're going to kind of figure out where you're going. By July, you're really going to know. And by next year, everything will be kind of booming for you, or at least moving in that way. Well, then I would honestly figure out first if that's a good idea. And secondly, put the business first before anything else and allow the rest to come, if that makes sense. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where your mind is all over the place. And you don't want to think about what's going to happen tomorrow. You need to live in the now and just allow it to unfold the way that it's going to unfold naturally. Like I said, this year is going to be about growth, moving forward, kind of like growing things, moving. You know what I mean? It's about movement. Next year, you're going to figure out exactly where you want to be. Now, could that mean maybe the partnership grows or there's a marriage or something like that? Possibly. But this year is about career and kind of figuring what you want and getting going in that direction. But right now, you're being asked to be still and move inward. And they're telling me you need to meditate. I don't know if you do that or not. You need to meditate. You guys wait for your question. I'll ask you when I'm ready for it. Yes, if you want to write it on a mirror or whatever, you can do that. Live in the moment. But I don't know if you meditate or not, but they're talking about like you need to go inward, meditate, be still, take walks, bring your focus inward, connect with your guides more, and start listening. So instead of fighting these thoughts that are coming in, these ideas that are coming in that Spirit is giving you, you need to follow them. Because, and you can do, so you can do guided meditations are really good. If you don't have seizures or anything, I always suggest Illuminate. That's a really good one. That's like with flashing lights, but I really like that one. It's good for people that have busy minds. So, you know, there's different ways you can do it. You don't, your mind doesn't have to be completely still when you're meditating. It's not like that. Okay? Your mind doesn't have to be like completely clear. No one's mind is completely clear. So, whenever you get these thoughts that pop in that are ideas, you have to run with them. Okay? You need to quit like fighting the ideas that are popping in, or like if you're getting the idea to do this or do that, like you have to go. You have to go in the direction that the ideas are taking you, because that's usually how your guides communicate with you, is they pop ideas in your head, or, you know, they're like, hey, you feel all of a sudden one day you want to go for a walk, you go for a walk. You know what I mean? Yes, meditation. I mean, I honestly need to do it myself more. So, but usually it's just in terms of ideas. So spirit will pop ideas in your head. It's not a voice most of the time. It's just ideas, thoughts. But it's coming across that you need to like kind of go inward more, if that makes sense. And this is going to help you evolve. So you're not going to be stuck much longer, but it's like spirit saying, trying to get you back in alignment and trying to get you to move inward more. Like it'll grow when it's supposed to grow, or you'll move when you're supposed to move, if that makes sense. Yeah, walking is a good that's what I'm saying. Like you can walk and meditate. Like you don't have to like lay in your bed and be completely still. Showers are good, baths are good. You know, any form of, you know, I love the guided meditations because they kind of keep your mind a little bit busy, you know. And they have different ones where you can go meet your guides, you can meet your loved ones, all that kind of stuff. Those are really good to get into. Sometimes say you can focus on a flame. So the biggest thing is quit thinking about tomorrow and focus on today, because you're learning lessons along the way, and the next few years are going to be huge amounts of growth for you. It's always calm before the storm. It's kind of like that. Okay? You don't have to quiet your mind while you're walking, though. That's the thing. And they do have actual walking meditations that you can do, and shower meditations. They have it specifically for that. And they have them for just about anything. Okay. All right, Kelly, let me go back up to your question. Yeah, guys, wait till I'm done with the questions, and then I'll ask you. I see you being in the house for a certain period of time, but you guys might decide to sell it at some point. Because I'm getting a sold sign, and I don't know when that'll be. That could be awesome. That could be, you know, down the road. I'm not saying that's going to get sold tomorrow. I'm saying that I feel like you'll be able to live there now, and you'll be able to live there for a while. There's a reference to 3. That could be within 3 years, 3 months, something like that. But there's a reference to it being sold. So I don't know if that you all come together and decide to do that, or what that's about. If that happens, don't worry. You'll get enough to like. I don't know what the sold thing is. So it's something that I can't, like, I keep seeing the sold sign, keep trying to unsee it, and I keep seeing it. So again, I think you'll be okay. It's going to work out, and I feel like you'll be okay to live there now. But I think eventually it might get sold for some odd reason. I don't know if that's something, again, that I don't think he's going to do any good with contesting the will. I really don't. I don't think he's going to win anything with that. It takes a lot to contest a will. You have to show a lot, and I just don't think he has it. I'm not getting that that's gonna go through or might even get very far. You know, but there might come a time where you guys just decide to sell it and get something different. But for now, I think you're gonna be okay. I mean, you'll probably be in it for at least 3 years because I'm getting like that 3 year thing. So you might, I don't know, something might happen and you guys decide to sell it or something and you get something different or better, or split it or whatever. I don't know. But you're going to be okay for now. That's down the road. So don't start freaking out. And I feel like it's something that you come into, like, you both decide, like, it's not pushed on you. And I don't think he's going to have any chance of contesting it. I just don't. That's what they wanted. That's what your dad wanted was, you know, to your daughter. So I don't think he's going to have any luck contesting that. Okay, Kelly? And I'm sorry about your loss. Yeah, I don't think even if he tried to, it's gonna do, like, there's nothing like to contest it on. Like, he doesn't have any grounds, if that makes sense. I don't feel like there's any grounds to contest it. So, I hope he's got a lot of money because it would take a lot of money for him to contest it anyways. It wouldn't be worth it. So I do think he's not gonna get very far. Where'd you go, Kelly? Did she fast forward when she came back? If you guys get a question, make sure you fast forward when you come back so that you're not behind. That's okay. Did you hear what I said? I think she's behind Tracy. I'm gonna let her catch up. I'm gonna let her catch up with what I was saying because I think she got behind. Because sometimes when you guys go to pay and you come back, you're like behind on the live. So make sure that you fast forward when you come back. Go to the end. Just so I don't have to repeat myself. I don't know what that means. What does assume the mortgage mean? I don't know much about real estate, honestly. Well, don't make her do it now because I just did the whole reading. I want her to hear it. I don't want to repeat myself. Just let me know when you get to the end, when you get to this part where I say, hi, Kelly. Oh. Well, let her finish. So whenever you guys get back, like if you pay, just hit the little red thing to the end so that you can get caught up. Thank you, Jill. Okay. Does it make sense to you, Kelly? Thanks for the tip, Jill. Does it make sense to you, Kelly, what I was saying? Did you hear everything? EMF spiking. Did you hear everything that I said? Did you hear everything about like about 3 years maybe it might get you guys might put up for sale, but you'll be okay, you'll be able to live in it, and he's not gonna I don't think he's gonna get very far. You heard all that right? It's okay. I think a lot of people forget to fast forward because the live keeps going when you like leave the live to go pay. So yeah, I don't know what that means. Like taking over the mortgage, I guess. So, like I said, I don't know if later on you guys end up wanting to sell it. I'm not sure. But there's a reference to like 3, and I'm taking it as 3 years. That like you'll be okay to live in it, and then like there's gonna be decision made because I keep getting a sold sign. But I don't so it's like there's something with it being sold, or I don't know, maybe she sells it to you. I don't know what this is, but I just keep getting a sold sign that I was trying not to see, but it keeps coming in. So in some aspect, like maybe the next 3 years it gets sold. I think you're gonna be okay until then. Stitch. Stop. Does that make sense? So you're gonna be okay for now, and then as far as your brother, don't even stress on him. I don't think he's gonna get anywhere with it. I'm pretty sure your dad's thing is airtight and it's going to where he wanted it. So yeah. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think the selling is coming from him. Like I don't think it has anything like I don't think he's gonna get very far. It takes a lot to contest a will. I don't think he has a leg to stand on, so to speak. If he wants to spend his money and try to do that, lawyers are hella expensive to do that, and they're gonna tell him he doesn't really have a case. So house went to where it was supposed to go. And I'm pretty sure it's ironclad. You enjoyed your chips? What does that mean? I don't think he can do anything. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have a leg to stand on anyways. I don't think he can do anything. You're welcome. Update me. I love updates, so you can always email me and update me. And again, we're sorry about your loss. Yeah, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He's full of shit. So just saying, he won't get very far, and it would cost him a lot of money to even try. But I don't think anybody's gonna help him do it. So you're good. You know, whatever you and your daughter decide on, to if you decide to sell it in 3 years or whatever, that's gonna be a decision that both of you make, and it will be made out of the best. Either she might sell it to you. I don't know. That's very possible. But there's something about, I keep getting a sold sign. So, but it feels like, again, within like 3 years down there's something with 3 years. So, but you're good. No, I can't restart right now, dude. Like, I'm in the middle of something. It's trying to get me to restart for updates. Hold on. Yeah. So, I wouldn't even stress about that part of it. Stitch, would you stop? Chips. I didn't eat chips in Tucson. Fries. Fries. I want to use my new rods, guys. We're waiting for questions. Give me some questions. It can be about anything, and we'll ask them. I keep forgetting. I gotta. Just give me some questions. While we're waiting for somebody else that wants a question. Yeah. Okay. So they're fries, not chips. Oh, well, I didn't know that. We have chips in a bag here, completely different than fries. So, oh, Zen is being a little loner, I guess. I had fries. That's what I was eating. I was starving. Then, I had like on Thursday, the Thursday before, somebody had sent me, and shout out to Nicole Eddy, I think it was, that sent me gift cards for Red Lobster for my birthday. So I went there and ate, and I had a bunch of points, and the guy was supposed to send me mashed potatoes home, and he didn't do it. So I went and got them. If you want to do a yes/no question with the rods, those we can do. But as far as an intuitive guidance question, I'm not doing those for free. Okay, Renee. No one wants to ask the rods, huh? no way. No one needs to know how many animals I have. No one's business at this point. Okay. Not necessarily. I'm not talking about you, Infinite, but if you only known how it gets used against me, so we don't say that. We don't talk about that. What did I do with my list? It seems like my list, like literally. Oh, there it is. That's why. I'm only doing paid questions, guys. If you want to use the rods after the paid questions, we can do that. Renee. All right, Renee, what's your question? Yeah, I don't like to. No, it's okay. We just, we keep things on the down low. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, but I just don't think it's anybody's business, really. On the internet, I should say. I just have dogs, cats, a couple birds, goats, a hedgehog, a rabbit. That's it. Somebody gifted me a rabbit after mine died. I'll show him to you guys one day. He's the sweetest little thing. Did you ask a full question? Like, what do you mean, be okay? Sure. There's a Linktree up there, and there's a link in the description box, or Tracy can post it again. Yeah, that's it. Like, what do you mean? Because that can be very wide of a question. Can you be a little more specific? If it has to do with like health relations or health related things, like I can't tell outcomes of that, but no, I know I'm talking about okay, I was gonna ask you about depression. So I was getting kind of like some mental health stuff, okay. I can't tell you what the outcome is gonna be because I feel like there needs to be, so he's being monitored, right, medically. So if he gets on the right combo of medication, he can do better. Then that's going to be a problem because I mean, Reiki and things like that can help him, but without proper medication, if you're on some kind of psychosis, if you're having some kind of psychosis, you're not going to be able to get better. I know meds aren't like the greatest thing always, but sometimes they do help with the chemical imbalances and things. So if he had the right kind of meds, it could help him lead a better life. Now, I'm not one that's a pill pusher or anything like that, but in this instance, it feels like medication is needed. And if he's not going to take medication, then it's going to be hard for him to deal with this. And honestly, I I don't know if you're his caretaker or whatever, because I also get a little bit of depression from it, because that was the first thing I was picking up, was depression in regards to this as well. I would just like watch his behaviors in the form of like he might get kind of fed up with this in his life, if that makes sense. I honestly feel like I know he's refusing meds, but I was getting like he probably maybe needs to be hospitalized for a little bit of time. Not a long time, but until they can figure out what's really going on and all of that. And again, you can send him to Reiki if you wanted to do something like that, but I don't feel, and I mean, there's always a spiritual aspect. There can be a spiritual thing going on here too that, you know, that may be having an impact. So you can try that avenue, going to a healer and all of that kind of stuff. But honestly, they're showing me chemical imbalances in the brain, and it's not something that's going to heal on its own. So I would get a second opinion, because I don't know if that's why I was getting the hospital, but I would get a second opinion. I really, and I'm not saying he has to be on meds forever, but I think that he's not going to be able to be fully okay without medication. He can try to go at it from a spiritual aspect, like I said, if he's into that, or having Reiki done or whatever. Like, he can try to go the natural way, but there is a chemical imbalance in his brain that, without some kind of, now I think in the future, when it comes to people with mental health issues, PTSD, psychosis, things like that, I think there's going to be better, there's going to be advancements, I feel like, to help with this kind of stuff. I don't know if it's like a new device or what it will be, but I feel like that's something that Pluto Aquarius is going to bring in for mental health down the line. But like I said, he can go through a spiritual aspect, or they're not all medications are the same. If he had the right dose and the right kind of medication, that doesn't mean he's going to be a walking zombie. It can just help with the chemical imbalance in his brain. So unless he's going to do something about his health and his situation, it's not something that's going to get better on its own. And I would watch for signs of severe depression and wanting to kind of be done with life. So that's the warning from Spirit on that one. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He might not have to be on it forever. Like, for instance, I didn't ever have the psychosis or anything like that, but I had like a really bad PTSD after my husband passed away. I kept seeing it in my head even though I wasn't there. And I had to take Prozac and stuff. And I'm not on it now. I haven't been on it for years, but I had to take it to make that PTSD, like make those visions stop, make those things I was seeing stop, get my butt like out of depression, things like that. So sometimes it can help you, like Tracy's saying, rewired. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean it has to be forever, right? But he needs to get on something. His chemical imbalance is not gonna heal on its own. Like I said, if he's interested in doing the spiritual way, I can't promise that it will help. Like, you'd have to see like a Reiki practitioner or someone that specializes in mental health, that kind of stuff. Like, you could do that. But I really think that the chemical imbalance needs to at least have some sort of the right dosage, the right kind of medication, and I think he could have a better quality of life. But that's on him, that's his decision. But without it, I don't see him getting better. I see him kind of getting worse. And also, like, therapy and things like that, somebody that he can really talk it out with would be really helpful as well. They do have people that specialize in this kind of thing. So And I again would get I don't know what hospital that was, but I would get a second opinion. So you can always tell him, like, just because you get on medication doesn't mean it'll have to be forever, right? But you can try it, see if it helps you. There's different kinds, there's different dosages. Like, it doesn't mean it's going to make you a completely different person, because I think he's worried it's going to make him a different person, or it's going to make him a zombie or whatever like that. Like, they have so many different things out now. You know, and if he doesn't like it, they can change it. You know what I mean? It might take a little bit for him to get exactly on the right thing, but he needs like a good okay, that makes sense, because I was getting hospitalizations. That's why I was wondering if it was like coming up, or because I kept getting that, like, he needed to be hospitalized. So he might need to be hospitalized to kind of figure it all out. I don't know who Esther Seals is, but that's good. I just, yeah. Is it like schizophrenia? Does he have schizophrenia? Like, he might need to be hospitalized again, because I'm getting that. Has he been diagnosed with schizophrenia though? ADHD and autism kind of run side by side. So if he hasn't been tested for that, it's something to maybe get him tested for. But I'm getting schizophrenia. Like, I can hear whispers or something along those lines. Okay. I was going with, and I was kind of getting bipolar too, but yeah, ADHD can be a symptom of autism. Yes, they run side by side. And also bipolar is, it kind of seems like ADHD, because ADHD can really have highs and lows like bipolar does. Yeah, and people with like schizophrenia, they're pretty good at masking it. My cousin does that, but his is drug induced. That he's like that. So, okay, yeah, because I can hear whispers. So, you know, a good schizophrenia drug would be, you know, good schizophrenia, good depression drug. Those would be good for him. ADHD, we wouldn't really need anything for that. I mean, you could use like CBD for that. That works really well. CBD, honestly, and THC, those work really good for ADHD. Even autism, they use it for that. So yeah, get him tested for autism. But I think the schizophrenia is. I do think he does have that, because I can hear it. Yeah, and usually, you know, it's very similar sometimes, or it runs side by side, basically. But yeah, it's not going to hurt to get him tested for that. But the ADHD drugs, I know that they do kind of make you kind of into zombie. My son wouldn't take those. So there's natural things for that. Oh, he was tested for autism? Okay. Yeah, I'm getting the schizophrenia is the biggest thing here. What are you doing? No, you don't. CBD is not THC. No, you don't. Misdiagnosed them for what? There's literally a autism what is it called? I know, because my friend just started giving his son CBD. There's literally a a group for it on Facebook for autism and CBD. So CBD has no THC. You do not need to be 21 to give it to them. I understand. No, you don't. Not for CBD, not for pure CBD. No, you don't. CBD is not THC. THC, yes. CBD, no. Oh, I don't think he's misdiagnosed schizophrenia because I can hear it. Does he ever say that he hears voices or no? Like all of that, like that can be that can be kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? Those things can be treated. They have pretty good drugs out for it now. And usually people that are schizophrenia sometimes feel that way. I know somebody that denies they have it all together, so it tends to be kind of a thing with it. Yeah. See, I don't think he's misdiagnosed with it because I can hear the whispers. So I think medication would be really good for him. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, like Reiki and like a therapist, right? Or whoever he's working with, that's going to help, you know? But I am getting like something with his brain. Has he ever had like a CAT scan on his brain to like see anything, if anything's different there? And has he ever had any like head trauma? Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Has he ever had a brain like trauma, like either hit his head? It doesn't have to be anything major, hit his head in some aspect or had any kind of head trauma in any way? And has he ever had a CT scan or an MRI? Okay. Can you how old is he? He's older, huh? Like in his 20s? Can can he go to the doctor and suggest it? So you wouldn't go to the police and ask for a brain scan. He would go to his doctor, primary care or any medical professional, his therapist, whatever, and tell them that he wants a brain scan. And the brain scan's just gonna show that if like the okay, 32. Okay, I don't know why I was getting 20s. Did you have a son that was in their 20s? Because there's something with keep getting this side of the brain. So it's like I don't know if it's like a deformity or a chemical imbalance or something with this side. I don't know what side this is, but there's also the frontal lobe. So again, I don't know if he's ever had head trauma, but that can bring it on. Yeah, no. He was 19. Okay, I was gonna say. So I was getting something with 20s. So that makes sense. That's close. Oh, your son was 19 when he passed, so he's almost 20. Okay. Was that due to did he do that to himself? Yeah. So have him like ask his doctor or his therapist, whoever, to have a brain scan. It might also help him see what's going on, either an MRI or a CT, something like that. And they can also do the, what is it, like the hook up the electrodes and you can see like the, okay. I'm sorry. That was just, he couldn't deal with it anymore. You know, it was nothing you did. I feel like maybe you struggled with blaming yourself at some aspect at some point, thinking you could have done more, you should have done more. And this is why I'm mentioning the signs of this, because I think it was coming in from the other one, like you recognized the signs. But there was nothing that you missed. There was nothing you could have done. So I think that's the biggest message from your other son. Is there a Tommy connection anywhere? That damn name. And yeah, so since he's 32, he can definitely look into THC and CBD. So, that helps a lot with ADHD and stuff. So I don't know if he does that already. Yeah, well, that's why it's coming in. Like, you're not supposed to blame yourself. Like, this was his choice, his decision, and it was just to kind of end the pain and suffering that he was going through, but it's nothing that you could have done in that aspect. And that's the thing that he wants you to know, is there's nothing that you could have done. So he wants you to quit blaming yourself. He said you tried to do everything you could, but some people just make their own choices and decisions. Where are the roses coming in at? Did someone give you roses, or did you place roses, or is there a reference to? I mean, I'm seeing them as yellow roses, but hang on to them. I don't know if it doesn't necessarily have to be from him unless he's handing you roses. Like, I always get yellow roses for moms. So if he's handing you yellow roses, that could be why. Or it could be if you have a mom on the other side or a grandma. Sometimes I get that for them, unless someone has laid yellow roses or roses in general. But hang on to it. But the biggest thing is that he wants you to release your guilt. I always get them for grandma sign or towards mother. So it could just be my symbol for towards mother. Kind of like I get red roses from boyfriends or husbands for people. I get kind of a yellow roses like to moms or from moms or grandma. Oh, okay. That would make sense. So it's kind of for both. Because usually that's mom, grandma, I get yellow roses. So that makes sense. Does she have breathing issues? Sorry, it's the middle of the day. My bird is like being hella loud. Okay. Because I haven't been able to breathe for a little bit, and I wasn't sure if it was your son or somebody else, but that'll make sense that your mom would be coming in with yellow roses. This is always my sign for moms or grandmas. Um, so it's just kind of a little hello from heaven. And they want you to take all the weight off of your shoulders because you have too much weight on your shoulders in regards to everything. Like you're putting everything on yourself, and um, that's not helping your health either. So they want you to kind of lift some of that weight off your shoulders. It's hard because we love our kids and we always feel responsible for our kids, right? But we have to understand too that our kids have our own path. So you can be there for him and do your best by him and know that's all that you can do. But lifting some of the weight and the pressure off, because again, I feel like I feel like there's so much guilt and so much blame in regards to your other son, and the fear is real with this one. And so that's why it was kind of coming in, and I think that's why you have like a fear about that. So you don't have a connection to Tommy at all, like here or there, and connected to anybody. That name like is everywhere all of a sudden, but I keep hearing it. And also an Eric. Yeah, so because I feel like this huge weight on your shoulders, but you've got to get that weight. Like you've got to kind of like give a little bit more to the universe, to your guides, to the angels. You know, take some of the responsibility off of yourself. Okay, who's Tommy? Your cousin's son. Oh, you said that earlier. Okay, is he here or there? Yeah, it's hard for us to do that though. Tommy and Eric are brothers. Okay. Holy crap on that one. And here, they're both here, or because sometimes I just talk about people that are here. Because I'm concerned about your heart because you put so much pressure and stress on yourself. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Okay. Interesting that they brought in both names. Okay, I thought so, but they're just validating the brothers for some reason. Was he close to them or something? And is the head pain coming in for your son? I've never gotten the names of brothers before, so that's pretty good. Okay, because my head's hurting. Yeah, head pain. Uh-huh. Head pain can also come from the neck sometimes, but I'm getting head pain or headache. Did your mom ever have a stroke at any point, or do you know somebody? Okay, I thought so. Um, I was gonna say that earlier about the head. I was gonna ask you about a pew pew, but I kind of didn't want to. Um, Okay, she never had a stroke that you are aware of? How about anybody else? Oh, she thought she was going to have one. Okay. She might have, and they just don't know, like a mini stroke or something. Because with that, I'm hearing I was right. But, you know, the head thing I was connecting to your son. Did your son ever go through a period of like wearing kind of like, where am I getting like this goth stuff at? Or like just darker clothing and things like that? Okay. She might have had a mini stroke. I'm telling you, because she was like, I was right. So they might not have detected it or whatever. Just 1 second, Jess. I'm not doing mediumship. This just happened to happen. So I'm just doing intuitive guidance questions. But I got one person ahead of you. Just hold on a second. Okay. Well, you know, just your loved ones send their love, and your son wants you to quit blaming yourself. That's his biggest thing. Yeah. I keep getting a goth phase. I don't know why. Or like painting back. Well, I don't know where this goes. It's like I keep getting like painting black fingernails and wearing like darker clothes. So I don't know if that's him or somebody else that he knew. Or if anybody went through like a phase. Because I keep seeing it. So it's just something I need you to kind of think about. Don't just think about like your inner circle, people that he knew or whatever, because people seem to sometimes have psychic amnesia because they get focused on one thing. I just need you to hang on to it because I keep getting like, and it could have been at any point, like, okay, I just painted my fingernails black and wore some black clothes. Like, I keep getting that. So I don't know where it fits. I don't know if it's the brothers. I don't know if it's like a phase somebody went through. Oh, your other son paints his nails dark. Okay. Does he like wear a lot of dark clothing too? Because I'm like, I keep getting like black nails. I know it's like random. So that makes sense. Yeah. I was like, he kept showing me like nails that were black and like maybe like a lot of black clothes or darker clothes. So that makes sense if he paints his nails dark. He was just trying to okay. I don't know. I'm like, I keep getting like a black sweatshirt and black nails. So I don't know if that's like his younger brother like throwing shade or what. Kind of what it feels like with the nails. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. Please try to let go of the guilt. That was the biggest thing. They don't care on the other side. I think it's just he's throwing shade at his brother in kind of a fun way. You know what I mean? Like brothers do. That's all that is. Just kind of a validation in a way. All right. Thank you, Renee. We went into a lot more there, but that's okay. All right. So how this works is if you paid, you just wait till I call your name and they ask your question. And just keep in mind that it's, you know, most likely possibilities, you still have free will. That's it. Angie May, what's your question? It's weird, some of the stuff they point out. I don't even know why. But I kept seeing like a dark sweatshirt with it. So I don't know if he's saying like that's what's next. I don't know. You're welcome. I love to hear updates. So, you know, if you need me for anything else or, you know, you need an update or you have another question or whatever, or you want to update me, you know, just email me. I love updates. And, you know, if you need anything else, Renee, let me know. Because we could have gone for like an hour on your mediumship, and I just can't do that today. Angie, are you still here? I think I'm going to have to pause you guys so I go pee real quick. I'm drinking too much coffee. And I will come right back. Angie, come back with your question. No, I'm a psychic medium, Tracy, not just psychic. She's like, what, you're psychic? I can't believe the names came in like that. That's wild. The brothers' names. Like, that's never happened before. So that was pretty cool. Thank you. All right, I'll be right back. I'm back. There was like, I was having a hard time because there was a couple different, the mom and the son were coming in at once. I wasn't really trying to do a full mediumship, but hopefully it was helpful. It is money in the house for his son. Is it missing? Or did we just not find it? My brother and dad passed last year. My brother hid his money in the house for his son. Did you guys find the money in the shoebox in the closet? I don't know why I'm seeing that. Or a pie, like a closet. I'm only going to be able to be here for like another hour. Because I have a reading at 6. I don't know if I'll be back tonight. I might have to be because, Bill's call. But, Angie, did you hear me? You guys fast forward when you come back. I think I need to go help Starlight with something. 1 second. No, what? I keep seeing cash being put in a like shoebox and being placed up high in like a closet of some sort or something. That's what they keep showing me. I don't know how much is there. Or if it was thought to be shoes or something. I hope not. But that's what they keep showing me. Well, at some point, like I said, I see him putting it in a shoebox and putting it up high. But there's also a reference to like, I don't know if it's like behind a picture, behind a wall, like something like that. But so it's like a couple different places, but I keep seeing that. That's what I keep seeing. So I don't know if you guys have cleaned out his house, if you've checked the shoe boxes on the top shelf, but that's what I keep getting. He keeps showing me that. And then there's reference to like like a hide a hole kind of thing, like in a wall or something like that. And bedroom seems relevant. So that's something. You're welcome. Yeah, those are the two things I'm getting. And so like bedroom, like maybe behind like a desk or behind something, like a hole that was there or some kind of like false something. I don't know. I keep showing me a wall that like might have like a, I don't know, something over it. But that's like behind something. But then again, there's also a shoebox, and I keep getting like the very top of a closet, so I don't know why they're showing me that. Like maybe it's mixed in with other shoe boxes or other boxes. I don't know. Those are the two things I'm getting. So you have to update me. But that's the two things I'm seeing. I can't ever promise I find anything, but that's what they're showing me. And update me or let me know if you need anything else. Okay, Jess, where did you go? Make sure you guys fast forward when you come back so that you're caught up. Jess. Oh, shoot. What the fuck? Don't do that. Hey. Okay, what's your question? Okay. Is there a specific thing? I mean, as moms, we always worry, but we also have to understand too that they have their own like blueprints and paths and lessons and things that they have to go through. Is there like a specific? Is there a specific thing you're worried about? Oh, okay. How old is he? Is he like preteen? Does he also have ADHD? I've been here, done that. They do get worse in their preteen, or how old is he? Am I getting 10? I don't know if that's his age or I just said, why am I getting 10? And then you said 10. Okay. I'm like psychic or something. So that is preteen. Okay. Well, kind of preteen, but it's funny because I wrote it down. 10. I'm like, why am I getting 10? And then you're like, 10? Yeah. So they get kind of, does he have ADHD? I'm like psychic or something today. Mercury retrograde. The heck? The heck? Am I back? It like kicked me off my channel for a second. I was like, why am I getting 10? And then she's like, 10. Stupid Mercury retrograde. Okay, does he have ADHD? Psychic or something today. Yeah, I know. I came back. It was trying to connect my channel. It said I wasn't connected, and then it connected me. I don't know. Like I said, Mercury retrograde. Okay. Yeah, I was saying, I was like, why am I getting 10? And then you answered 10, so I know you're here, but my chat just no, you're here. My chat disconnected for a second. So my question is, does he have ADHD? You're here. Just my chat disconnected for some odd reason. My channel disconnected, but I'm back now. ODD. Okay, but ADD. Okay, ADHD. All right. I thought so. Okay. So he has something similar to what my son had. And I'm going to tell you this. It does get worse before it gets better. When they're in their preteen and teenagers, it gets hard. When they get into adulthood, when they kind of go after they kind of go through their puberty phase, it gets better. Once they kind of learn how to control their behaviors and things like that, it gets better. So it is going to be kind of tough, but also usually kids with ADHD are gifted. So you're going to have to try to find a way for one, cut off the sugars and red dye. For two, calming colors are better. And for three, kind of try to move that energy into different things that he likes. Okay. But yeah, my son, I mean, I think I was called to the school every other day. He's a great kid now. He's a good adult. He's a good person. But when he was a teenager, I wanted to, and he had the ADHD and anxiety disorder and all that. So it kind of all goes together. And a lot of it is too, is that our kids are very gifted. And, I don't know. I'm not getting like Tracy. I mean, has he been tested for autism? Yeah. No processed foods, no sugar, no red dyes. Look into the CBD. I think that'll help. There's a whole Facebook group about autism, ADHD, and CBD. I always suggest that people go check that out because it's people that know a lot about it, have had their kids on it, all of that. Calming colors, calming music. I used to kind of try to put headphones on my son. He liked that little what is that? And it came back negative because I'm not getting autism with him. I just think I don't think he is. I think he's high ADHD. Now, ADHD and autism run like this. So sometimes they can seem like they have autism, but it's just a really different level. There's different kinds of ADHD. Okay. So ADHD, yes, they can be, like I said, I'm getting the reference to my son. My son is not autistic, but he had a ADHD and he had the anxiety disorder. Like he didn't even want to go into I don't think he has it. That was Tracy's question. I just think he has this one kind of ADHD that is just like my son had. And so again, I would put like headphones on him. Does he like to play video games? Yeah, my son was the same way. So make sure that you have a good psychiatrist. He will grow. I feel like he will grow out of this, and things will get better after he gets out of his teenage years. You're gonna have some struggles before then. So, putting things into place, changing changing things with his diet. Again, CBD. Looking into that. Some. So there, like I said, there is a group on Facebook that does. You have to wait a second, Jennifer. They talk about. Okay, yeah, that's an ADHD thing. My son had that same thing. I could never get him out of the room. So I think it's kind of good for a certain amount of time, but you're gonna have to limit it. Okay. There needs to be structure. So I don't. My son played video games like crazy, and he's a good kid. So I don't honestly think that has anything to do with criminality. I think it's not really video games unless they're playing shoot 'em up bang bang. Like Legos and Minecraft are not negative things. So as long as you keep those types of games, and you kind of limit it. Yeah, but at the same time, ADHD kids need that. So they need that sort of stimulation. I didn't cut my kid off of it because he needed the stimulation. He doesn't do it as much now. Hey. I'm gonna fucking. You guys, come on, seriously. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You might have to do like a diet change or something of that sort. UPS is here. So I would. My son was the same way. Cheyenne. Sorry, the UPS guy came. My son was the same way. So there, if you're worried about that kind of thing, you need to actually, make sure that he's seeing a psychiatrist. And think about doing homeschool. If he's being bullied and he's having a hard time, think about doing homeschool because Cheyenne. Seriously, they're gone. Sorry. I would think about doing homeschool. They have online homeschool now. Yeah, I mean, my son, he hated school. He didn't like going to school. He was always in trouble. I was called multiple times down there. He was getting into fights. He would say crazy fucking things about 10 years old. Now, what kind of medication do you have him on? Because depending on the medication, it can make it worse sometimes. It did my son. Until you have to get the right kind of medication. So sometimes it can make them more mean and also you have to kind of get him to, get involved in other things. But they do have online schools now that will probably be better for him. So I would look into getting his meds changed, because as their hormones change, as they age, sometimes things need to change. Sometimes the kind of medication that they're on, the combo of medication that they're on, you know what I mean? Like sometimes that needs to change. So I would get him reevaluated for that. I would let the psychiatrist know what your issues are, and maybe they can get you on something else, like Concerta. I see on Concerta right now. He's probably on trazodone. And they probably put him on Prozac or something like that. Is he on Concerta right now, or is he on something else? I think it's time for reevaluation with meds. I think it's time to look into the CBD thing, like I was saying. I think it's time to okay. Okay. Yeah, I know what guanfacine is. My son had that. I mean, it might be worth looking into Concerta. Has he ever been on Concerta? I'm hearing that. So just ask your psychiatrist about it. And ask about trazodone. That those might be, just ask your psychiatrist what they think. They know better than I do. Just ask them. Just say, can we take a look at his meds? He's doing this, he's doing that. You know what I mean? And there might be something with the dosage. So I think that has a lot to do with it, but also the puberty thing. I'm telling you, this is the worst years up until about 17, 18. Oh, for the Concerta? But again, I would join that group for the CBD and check it out. Just if he had reactions when he was young, then I mean, like I said, sometimes our body changes. So just, I don't know, ask. I'm just hearing it, so I don't know. I'm not a doctor. No, I felt the same way. So I think a lot of it, again, is puberty, medication. You're going to have to work on a better diet for him, because there's something with the diet that's like, I don't know if he takes a lot of sugar or whatever. Well, yeah, pre-puberty, that's when it started with my son. My son was really bad from 10 on. So it has a lot to do with it. When they get into adulthood, they do shift. My son doesn't take medicine or anything anymore. He was horrible as a child and a teenager. No, I don't. I just think it has a lot to do with hormones and I'm telling you, it's something with the medication. I'm not hearing voices for him, so I don't think it's schizophrenia. I just think he has a different kind of ADHD. But by all means, if he's scaring you that bad, make sure that you discuss it with your psychiatrist. But yeah, my son was really bad from 10 on. So, and he's an adult now. He's great now. He doesn't have all the problems. He learns how, I guess, to handle it now, and he doesn't have he doesn't even take medication now. It was just something that was really hard for him when he was younger. Does he still have some of the ADHD issues? Yeah, but he's learned how to handle them. So, you know, and if that psychiatrist gaslights you or whatever, then you need to go to a new one. Because sometimes when they can't control their emotions, or they don't understand their emotions, or they lash out and they're impulsive, the thing with ADHD is there's a lot of impulsivity. They're very impulsive. They act before they think. That's good. Meditation would be really good for him. So they have binaural beats. That's like ASMR. That's what I was trying to think earlier. My son loved ASMR. I don't know why, but he did. So look into that. But They have binaural beats that you can put on. Like get him some headphones and put them on. Meditate. He's now 21, and he's great now. He's been great since he was about 17, 18. And I went through all this. I wanted to kill him sometimes. we had blows. It was hard. We had blows. He was very impulsive. And then he went to a point where he didn't even want to go into the store with me because he said he had anxiety. He didn't want to be around anybody. So we went through all this. He wouldn't take his medication. I mean, just join Facebook to go look at the group and see what other parents are saying. It's a good support system for you, right? You can meet other parents going through the same thing that have ideas on what works for their kid. And so I always suggest that because you can go in there and these parents are talking about, okay, I tried this, I tried that, this works, this doesn't. You know what I mean? So you can get a support system for yourself as well. So not only will they like tell you, hey, this worked for my kid, this worked for my kid, but you can get a support system. You know what I mean? So not only can you learn more about ADHD and how things that help it, but you can also, meet other adults that are going through the same thing. I think it's like CBD and autism, or CBD, ADHD and autism, or something. There's groups like that. But I think it'd be really good for you. So, when they're younger and they're dealing with this, like it's a lot to deal with. Like they can't like really control things, and so their brain is just different. And ADHD, you're gifted when you're ADHD, so it's tuning into those gifts. Yeah, and we can worry, but we can't. And we can worry and we can try to help it, fix it, and all of that. You're doing all the right things. Yeah, because you need you definitely need like your own support system, right? And like I said, if there's homeopaths. I don't know why I'm getting that, so that might be something to look into. But maybe you need to find a better psychiatrist, better mental health professional. Been there. I know. Trust me. I don't know if he's as bad as yours is, but he was rough. He was rough. We get into blows all the time. But now that he's an adult, he's completely different. Oh, okay. Maybe talk to your aunt about it, or if you can find a homeopath doctor. That might help you. I'm pretty sure there might be some support, maybe some support groups for, parents or something that you can go to. I would Google that, see if there's anything in your area. But yeah, just having another parent to talk to would be helpful. I mean, I can't promise that. Like, I can't give you outcomes and promise that because everybody's got free will. I can tell you that you'll do the best that you can, and it will change and grow, and it will change and get better. If certain things are put into place. And remember, his brain is still growing. So as he gets older, things will change. Yeah, that would be good. Like horse therapy. Well, that's what I was saying, like the ASMR or like binaural beats, something like that. Getting him out in nature might help. Well, and that's the thing is kids with ADHD are gifted. It's just finding what their gifts are. And a lot of them are starseeds and things like that, and they come here with a higher vibration that they don't know how to handle, and they're wise beyond their years and they don't know how to deal with it. So make sure also like he gets outside and gets some playtime, and like I said, you do fundamental things. Like I agree with Tracy on that equestrian therapy. That might be something to look into. But yeah, his brain is still growing and changing and evolving. I do think the issue is the medication. The type of medication or it might be the dosage. I don't know. There's something with that. So You know, it does get different as they get older. Because I never thought my son would be who he is now. I was always worried about him constantly, and he's great now. So I do think as they grow and change, and they finish like all the emotions and everything, So, and if he's gonna be good to the dog, it might not be bad to get a therapy animal. You know, if he's gonna be good to it, getting a therapy animal might be helpful. So, even if you get a small therapy animal, because therapy animals, or I mean, with his, you could actually. It sounds like because with my son, with all the issues he had, he was able to get disability. So I would look into disability for that. It's easier to get that for mental health and something like that than it is for physical. So I would look into that. My son had that, and they can even help you get like if you come down to it and want a therapy dog, it might actually help him. You might need a little dog isn't going to take up that much space. So there's little tiny dogs. Honestly, you can, he can take him on walks. He can teach him responsibility as long as he'll be good to it. Everybody can have space for a little tiny dog. They don't need a lot of space. So it's something to consider. All right. But I would consider a little therapy dog. He doesn't have to have a big therapy dog. But you can look into disability. You can get a lawyer, and you can. Mine got it like really fast, and they just paid the lawyer until he was 18. The lawyer just took it out of the back pay or whatever, and then he got the rest. So I think he would qualify for it. So look into that. Oh, you're welcome. Get him a little dog. Little dog it doesn't take up any space. It's worth it for your kid's well-being if he really loves dogs, if he's going to be good to it. They help with serotonin, so they help. They are healers, so it's something to consider. I'm going to run outside real quick because my UPS came, and I think it's new cards. Yeah, hold on. You're welcome, Jesse. Update me, okay? Email me and update me. Let me know if you need anything else. Thanks, Connie. Yep, no, my son, I mean, I don't know. His dog helped him a lot. He had his dog since he was 7, though. I think it really make a difference. So these are just regular tarot cards, but I always have a hard time remembering them. Like, I have some here, but the writing is so small on them. So I wanted to do like the regular tarot cards, but they have the meanings on them like in the big letters. So I wanted to try these so I could try to remember them, like memorize them. So they're just regular tarot cards, but they have like the meaning on them. So I could learn the tarot a little bit better, easier, whatever. I don't know why it says Twin Flame the Awakened Path Tarot. I love roses, though. I didn't know they had them on the back. That's cool. Oh, he was. Did you eat hay again? Is that why you're being dumb? Zeus, fucking Justice throwing up because he eats hay. He was tough. He was tough. It was very hard. I don't know how I made it. We went toe to toe a lot. So, thank God that he's, it is, but thank God that he's, he kind of grew out of it, basically. I was lucky with that. He kind of grew out of it. Being a parent is hard, yeah. Especially this day and age. All right. I think I pretty much... Okay, Jennifer, what were you saying? If I sent twice on... let me check. I also need to... I'm only going to be on here for a little bit longer because I have a reading at... Oh, crap. Hold on, I'm going to look. Oh, he already had the dog, but I didn't have to pay for the lawyer. I just he qualified for disability, like they thought he had a good case. So the lawyer took the case, he turned in all the paperwork, did everything. We won the case like right away, like within a, like it was really fast for him because he was just so bad. And we already had the dog. I'm just saying that you can, use that towards the therapy. Like you can get a therapy dog because it's part of like the disability. You know what I mean? Like your disability will help pay for that. Do you know what I mean? So, and then basically the lawyer got paid when he got all of his back pay. That makes sense? But, because if it's considered like, a service dog to him, an emotional support dog to him, then the money from that should help cover it. As long as you guys don't make too much. I don't have a double payment from you. Nope, I only have one payment. Nope, just one payment, Angela. So, look into applying for disability. You have to get like school records and all that kind of stuff, but and his medical records and all that, but yeah. It was like $800 a month. Yeah. Okay, girl, what's your question? I'm gonna have to get off here soon because I gotta go relax before my reading because I have a feeling. I have a feeling that one's gonna be a tough one. And then I might come back later, just depends. Because yeah, there's things I needed to make today. So what's your question, Jen? Make sure you fast forward so that you're caught up. Yes. And I think sometimes they have a hard time dealing with those emotions, if that makes sense. So I think that's a part of it too. All right, Jen, I'm waiting for your question. Oh, my glasses got freaking dirty as heck. I didn't know those cards have roses on the back. Roses are my favorite flower. I think that's why Spirit uses red roses and yellow roses for different like symbolism or whatever. I mean, unless you want to do it through email, this is a live. So yeah. Oh, Jesse, you already had yours. Sorry. Yeah, it'll be on live. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'll just be a live. This was about 2 hours in or so. So a little bit before 2 hours, maybe. Yeah, it'll be posted. Jen, where are you for your question, girl? Dude, what happened to my hair? Am I like delayed or something? What's going on? Why is everybody... Jen, where are you at? You emailed it? Do you not want it on the live? Because you can just ask it right here. That's only for like email questions. Would you rather have an email question? Justice, stop it. Do you want your question answered through email, or do you want to hear live? Like, do you want me to answer your question through email, or do you want me to answer it here? I'm here. Fast forward. Are you caught up? Do you have cameras, Jennifer? Okay. Well, she emailed it, so I wasn't sure. Okay. Did you before or no? There's a reference to 3. They're like younger guys. Do you live in kind of area with like some crime? Like, I don't know if it's like this. It's almost like your area is like next to like a city with like in kind of like a area that's like starting to get more crime or something. They feel like they're in the neighborhood though. But does your residential area kind of like back up to a city? I'm trying to understand what they're showing me. Or like, is it like in like it's almost like residential area, city, and then a little bit down is like kind of a not great area. I don't know how to explain it. Or it's not, or there's some issues happening there. So make sure that you have all camera angles and no trespassing signs too. But I would also put a sign out that says monitored 24/7 by whatever cameras. You will be prosecuted. I don't know. That might help deter a little bit. But yeah, there's something, yeah. So there's like a group of like 3 guys that are kind of doing it. I feel like they're not far from your house. It feels like it's they're like late teens, early 20s, something like that. But I also just pay attention to what I'm saying, okay? So it's like, here's your residential area, then it's like the city, and then it's like I want to go to like, I don't know if it's the next, because I know there's like different parts to cities, so I don't know how to explain this, but I want to go like the next area over from that city. I don't even know how to make sense of this. So I don't know if that's where they're at or if that's where it's coming from. Yeah. So you have cameras now though? Was this before or after the cameras? Jennifer, do you have an ex or someone that you had issues with in the past? Because I'm getting like, I'm getting like 2 different things. Okay, there's like a group of people that were, or a group of guys that were involved in kind of doing some things around your community, thefting, all of that stuff, right? Where you were before. But I'm just wondering if you have like an ex or someone that you used to see kind of like a stalkerish vibe. And this is why I'm saying cameras, protections, signs, a dog if you don't have one. The cameras point outwards. They don't point at you. So you need to get cameras. How is his personality? Is he kind of a little loco? Your protection is more important. And you have control on when they're on or not. You don't have to have them on during the day. Just turn them on at night. They'll come on with movement or whatever. But if you're worried about that, that's the only way you can do it. But only you see that. You mean the person that's I'm confused. Are you talking about the cameras or the person that would or that is your house, that is messing with your house? Are you talking about the person that sees you coming and going or the cameras do? I'm confused on that part. Well, there's someone, if you don't think it's your ex and if it's not he's not that type of personality, then I don't know if you've dated anybody or there's somebody that you've Hey. But I still get that there was like a lot of stuff going on in that other neighborhood. I don't know. I was getting like three guys like just like teenagers to 20s like running around stealing stuff. But okay, the person. I thought you were talking about the cameras. I was like, "Girl, don't tell me you're that." You're that freaked out. Okay. Yeah, no, there's somebody in your past or that you've caught the eye of or whatever that's kind of got this. I would get protection. Okay, I would get your cameras. I would get a pew pew, a protection, some sort. I would get a dog if you don't have one. And I would report all of this. Okay, and I would get a good lock system on your door. This guy seems like he's a bit of a lurker, a stalker. Hey, Jennifer, I have all kinds here. I really thought you were talking about the cameras watching you and you were being a little paranoid. And I was like, oh God, please no. There's somebody, you don't know a Greg at all, do you? I just want you to hang on to that name. Like it's coming in. But yeah. There's somebody that you've made an impact on that is being a little bit I don't know if it's an ex-friend or somebody that had a crush on you or somebody you were dating or talking to. I was like, oh God, she's paranoid about the cameras. I gotta be going for a minute. Okay, I just need you to hang on to that name, but there's somebody that I don't know if there's somebody in your past or that you've talked to or so again, I would make sure you report all this. I would make sure you've got cameras. I would make sure that you've got signs. I would make sure you got good locks on your door. I would make sure you have protection. And again, if you don't have a dog and you want a dog, you can get a dog. I would get you a big scary dog. Because there's some kind of like it's more of like scaring you or have you ever seen Obsession Dark Desires? It's like the vibe I'm getting, but I don't know who the person is. If you don't think it could be your ex-husband, if he doesn't put off that vibe, then there's somebody else you've crossed from your other neighborhood or along your path that's kind of followed you. Greg lived across the street in the old neighborhood. I moved. The intruder was here, not there. Oh, did Greg have a thing for you? Okay, I was a little confused. I thought you were saying that it was happening there and here. But I was getting that there was some kind of stuff happening there. I was getting a group of like 3 guys for some reason. I don't know. Well, I'm getting the name for a reason, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm like psychic today or something. So the fact that Greg was a neighbor and lived across the street, maybe he had a little thing for you, maybe he followed you. Get your cameras up. Okay, well, I don't know why else I would pull the name out of thin air. So, like I said, do what you need to do. Yeah, and I'm telling you that he followed you. Do you see what I'm saying? From your old neighborhood. Yes. Are you not getting what I'm laying down here? Again, get your cameras, get you some protection, get good locks on your doors, and get yourself a big scary dog. I'm pulling Greg for a reason. The fact he lived across the street from you is possible he was thieving there and he's followed you there. Just saying. There's definitely a stalkerish, following, obsession, dark desire vibe. I didn't just pull Greg out of thin air. The fact that he lives across the street from you and you had thefts there and an intruder here, need you to think on it. Again, get you some damn cameras. I want cameras and lights all around your house. You know those lights that come on when people walk up to your house that shine? Get one of those. That'll scare people off really quick. Cameras, lights. I was getting a reference to like 3 guys before, but I think that's just something going on in your neighborhood. Because I was tapping into your old neighborhood, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like a group of like young guys. But this is different. People get obsessed for all kinds of reasons. I mean, not to scare you, but you know, that's kind of what happened with that Brian Koberger. Like people get obsessed for all kinds of. Yes, and that's what I'm telling you. Explain this to me. How would you have a theft in one place and then move 3 hours away and then have an intruder if it's not connected in some way? And then I'm pulling the name of your guy that lived across the street that I didn't know about. And sometimes neighbors can get weird obsessions over people. So again, get yourself some cameras, get you those lights that flash on when people approach your house, get you a big scary dog if you can, and get you good locks and get you a good protection. Okay? And write down everything. Because it's kind of weird that you have theft before and now you have an intruder even though you moved 3 hours away. That usually doesn't happen to a lot of people. And then I'm pulling the name of the person that lives across the street from you or lived across the street from you, your old neighborhood. Just something to be prepared of. Okay? Yeah, I don't pull names for, especially names that make sense. I mean, I named Rick Allen. Yeah, just saying. So, I don't know anything about the Greg dude. Do you know anything about him? I don't know how I pulled that name out of my butt, but the names are coming in clear today. I love it. I named brothers earlier, and that was just crazy, but that's even crazier because that person's not dead, so, or deceased, so that's even crazier. Okay? Yeah. But, and that's what I'm saying. I think I'm relating that to you because you know the case. So, people get obsessed for all kinds of reasons. Yeah. The fact that he exists and lived across the street from you is not a coincidence. So, you know, Tracy could probably find his. Yep. And do you know, and like, was he like weird or anything like that? Because I don't pull names, like, if they make sense. Like, if it was some other name that didn't make sense, I would say okay. You know what I mean? But the fact that he used to live across the street from you, what are the odds of that? The odds are like 1 in 100 of that. Just saying. Yep, get all that protection around your house. I want those lights beaming when somebody walks up to your yard. Get yourself a big scary Doberman or something if you don't have dogs already, or some kind of scary dog. If you want it and you can and you like dogs, you know. If you don't, then don't. Dogs are great to keep people away. Deterrent. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I'm saying, he cut your lawn. Look at like I said, I'm getting the reference to Brian Koberger for a reason, because I think he only saw Maddie once and became obsessed. So it doesn't take much. Go watch, if you can find the show Obsession Dark Desires, go watch that. I can't find it anymore, but it used to be a big show. Me and my son would watch it. He loved that show for some odd reason. No, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm telling you to get yourself cameras, the big lights, get good locks on your doors, get yourself protection, keep track of everything, and get your, if you can, and if you want a dog, get yourself a good dog. Dogs are great for protection and, you know, making you feel safer. So all of those things. Well, she was having theft when she was living there, and now she's having an intruder. What are the odds of that? And then I pulled the name of her neighbor across the street that used to cut her lawn. I'm telling you, it only took one time for Brian Colbert to see Maddie. One time. So, I mean, I see you with like a nice little. If do you have pets currently or no? Do you like pets? Hey, look at the EMF spike. My guys are on their names today too. I just named brothers earlier. I got the 10, and now we're getting Greg. A kitty. Okay. You get a, if you can get a dog that gets along with cats, that would be a good watchdog for you. I would totally do that. Either one from the shelter, or you can even get it like as a puppy and raise it, but you know. You know? Okay. You need anything else, you know my email. What? What do you mean? He followed the guy through house behind closed door. I don't know what you mean. He followed what guy? Yeah, I don't understand what she's saying. I'm trying to understand what she's saying here. She doesn't have a dog. She has a cat. I'm trying to get her to get a dog that's good with cats. She needs a dog. A cat can't do anything. His head moved in the direction the intruder traveled through the house. Oh, your cat? Yeah, but he can't attack him. You need a dog. If you can get a, they have dogs that are good with cats. Check the shelter or something like that. You know, make sure they're good with cats or whatever. That are still good watchdogs. I would look for that. if you don't want to do a puppy because puppies can't really do much either, then, go to the shelter. Go to the shelter, have a look. You'll probably fall in love with one. Yeah, one cat, one dog, that's perfect. Maybe they'll be best friends and keep you safe at the same time. Yeah. I was like, what? She's got me going because first she made me think she was paranoid with the cameras, and then I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I think we all were. I mean, if you want a dog, if you like animals, I just think it would be a good thing for you. And, maybe your cat could have a nice buddy. And I mean, if you have a yard and everything, you know what I mean? So I think it would be a good option for you. So. You gotta be careful with like the bear spray and stuff with cats and animals though, Tracy. So maybe like a zapper if you don't want to do a pew pew. Because I was talking to my vet about the pepper spray I had because of the dog fight, and she's like, "Well, you don't want to spray that because of the birds," and I didn't even think about it. So you gotta be kind of careful. But one of those, it's okay. If you need me, you can find me. Just email me or whatever. Yeah, I hope you reported it. That's what I'm saying. You need to, anything else that happens, you also need to keep track of and report. Make sure that you're keeping documentation of it. I would also do a background check on this Greg guy. That's fucking crazy. I pulled that name, dude. I can't even. With that and the brothers today, my names are on fire. I had to check my reading. I'm gonna have to get off here. I have a reading coming up. And shelter dogs become the best protectors. I have Aurora. She was a shelter dog. She was the best dog ever. Zook was gonna be a shelter dog, but they just really I don't know. They protect the people that save them. So I think it would be a good option for you. What am I doing? I'm trying to find my appointment. They never emailed me, but right? Yep, exactly. Proactive. Well, if they took documents, you don't think it's your ex-husband? I mean, you don't think your ex-husband's involved in some of it? That's kind of a weird thing to take. Hey. Sorry. I think there was a fight between Starlight's gate. She's got a like open door now with the gate up. I think her and no, Pope's right there, so somebody else. Yeah, I'm like, if he took some documents, that would kind of point toward it, and depending on what the documents were, an X or something. I don't know. There's weird that I pulled an X. Unless it's just to validate that you lived by one. I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways. I don't know. It was weird. I was getting an X and then also Greg. So I don't know. Maybe it's both and different things. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like maybe you have two things going on at once, or you did. Like maybe Greg was like the one stealing there, maybe your husband came and stole documents where you're at. You know what I mean? Like maybe you've got two things going on because I was kind of getting both. So oh, my back hurts. I'm gonna have to get off here and go get ready for my reading. Because of 40 minutes, so all right, if you need anything else, you know where to find me. Well, it just makes me wonder because of the documents. Because I was kind of getting both, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know. You're welcome. Get hypervigilant, girl. Get you all those things. Why do I want like gravy, like biscuits and gravy or chicken and gravy or something like that? Like I really don't like the white gravy. Does somebody like that, or someone's like family member? Is that like a thing? I don't know why that's like popping in my head. Like hey, I'm just getting ready to get off here. Okay. Okay, get yourself a shelter dog. It can be the best friend. I did say or biscuit or like chicken and gravy. I don't know why I like the country gravy. I don't know why. Like it popped in my head. I don't know if it belongs to someone. Hey. Okay. I'm glad you just thought of something. So now I'm excited for you to tell me. Like now you've got me going. You're like, oh, I just thought of something, and then you're gonna leave, and then I'm gonna sit here like, well, what did she think about? It's gonna drive me crazy. So we'll see if I have to come back later, but I mean, maybe you're in the chat, so oh yeah. Oh hey. Thanks. Before we go, would we like to use my rods with any questions about anything? I don't know. We can see. I want to use them, guys. Come on. These are awesome. So give me questions about anything. I keep crossing my legs. I gotta quit doing that. Come on, guys. Give me questions about anything. Could be anything. Crime related, political related, personal. I don't care. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to get a snack too. I want to use them. Come on. Give me something. Give me something to ask. Yeah, these are new ones. I have other rods and they're a little bit heavier, like regular rods. I think they're in my car right now because I think I took them with me. These are different. These are lighter. I saw somebody else using something similar on TikTok, and I was like, I saw them because they have an amethyst in them. Amethyst in my birthstone, so I don't think they did. No, I think it's more toxin stuff. Is Tracy annoying? No, Tracy, you're not annoying. Will Jesse's husband get a new job? Yeah. Oh, that's a big yeah. Maybe the name of the new dog is Gravy. Where'd I get him? Etsy. I wish he could only. Will Iran take out Trump? No, they won't. They need to bring a woman in. I'm telling you, they're gonna do anything. Quit sending the men to do a woman's job. Yeah, I got him on Etsy. Is Jen gonna get a new dog? I keep saying, is Jen gonna get a new dog? Yeah, Jen's gonna get a new dog. Well, we asked that earlier. Is Earl gonna be searched for real? Yeah. We got that they were gonna find remains there earlier. Well, I need your name. I can't ask with your YouTube name. It's not personal enough. Will the Democrats win the midterms? I mean, that's a yeah. Just give me your name, Zipperora, whatever. Mary. Oh my gosh, I was thinking of that name earlier, and I didn't say it because I was like, when we were talking about Greg. That's so funny. Okay. Will Mary's assignment at work lead to further promotion and raises? That's a yeah. See how they swing? They swing a little different than my heavier ones. I mean, I like my other ones. These just swing different. They're just lighter. I'm not going to ask that, Maurice. No, we don't ask those questions. The rods are waiting. Zena acting like she's young. Is Nancy's body where I think it is? I don't want to say where it is. I don't want to say where it is because, you know. I don't know. That gave me a yeah. It's still swinging yes. Okay, I don't know. Wow. Is T involved in Nancy's disappearance? Were you? I asked it like 15 times today and it gives me the same answer. Will Candace's business be successful? You guys know what yes is, right? When they cross. Yeah, Tracy, I asked that question like 50 times today. Not even joking. They're probably like, all right, stop asking already. And I'm trying not to think one way or another. Yeah, that's usually how they do. For some reason, my rods are like the one will move more than the other. And sometimes it's the right one, sometimes it's the left one. So most of the time it's the right one, though. Hold on. My dog's are fighting. Just Casper and his adopted mom getting with it a little bit. They are lighter. They are lighter. No. Well, will Rochelle come back on after the rods? Probably no. Or after the reading? Probably no. For what? For you, it was yes. So when it crosses, it's yes. When it opens, it's no. Is the masked man on Nancy's? There is no mask. You know that it's pre-recorded, right? Is the masked man on Nancy's porch Derek? It's like not even fucking moving. Oh, there we go. No. Is the video for Nancy Guthrie pre-recorded? Like Ocean's 11. What is going on with these things? Come on, guys. There we go. Is the masked man on the porch Derek? Okay. Is that video pre-recorded? Okay, look at that. See, watch, I'll ask again, Tracy. Is Nancy Guthrie's remains where me and Tracy think that they are? That's what I was doing earlier. That's a yes. Yeah. So, did they Ocean's 11 Nancy Guthrie's disappearance? Is T involved in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance? Were the people on the video hired? Will Wile E. Coyote ever catch Roadrunner? No. Is the masked man on video Dominique? No. It's a big no. See the difference when it's moving yes? See? Well, yeah, Nancy knows everything. See the difference when it's swinging yes and when it's like a no? I think they were hired actors myself. Oh, I don't know how to locate body with Oh, will they locate Nazira Harris's body? Will they locate Nazira? I don't know how to say her name. Nazira Harris's body. I mean, yeah. I don't know when, but yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's interesting because the EVP said astrology, and I was like, whoa, like, why is it saying that? My mom loves it. You guys are making me hungry. I don't know why, I thought about that. I've already asked that. And I did a live about the timeline. Did TOMASO unalive Nancy? I mean, you can't get any more yes than that. Allegedly. I have to watch it because sometimes they hit each other. Did TNA hire the person? I think they did hire the person on video. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, it's pre-recorded. They either did it on another Nest Cam or they had it pre-recorded and they uploaded it when they used the jammer. And I think the timeline's earlier, which would account for when the door opened and closed. And you know what else I thought about too was, there's no proof that he brought her in okay, because there's no camera on the back, so he can say all he wants. Oh, I dropped her off at 9:45 through the garage. Of course, because there's no camera there to say you never did anything else. Just saying. Yeah, pretty straightforward. All right, I got my reading at 6. If you guys want me to come back, I will, but I know it gets late. Depending on if I'm not too tired or not, but I'm like 3 hours ahead behind a lot of you guys now because of the time change. So, but I need to go eat something and yeah. Okie dokie. Do you guys like them? I love them. I don't know. I had a really good connection with my other ones, but sometimes they just feel heavy, and sometimes they do like swing crazily, but for some reason I like these a lot. I like the way these swing better. So, because I saw somebody else using them on TikTok, and I was like, oh, I like the way that they like move better. You know what I mean? They just seem like they move more fluid. So, oh, I found them on Etsy. Okay. Yeah, no, you're not annoying. Thanks, guys, for getting questions. If I'm not too tired, I'll be back. I have a feeling this reading might wear me out a little bit, so. It is 5:41. My reading's at 6. Oh, I need to ask something. Because I had the dream. Is Trump going to be gone by March or like in March? Is he going to be gone in March? Because y'all gave me the fucking dream. So, okay. We're going to hold you to that, guides. All right? That's a pretty big yes. All right? So, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to hold you to that. Trump going to be gone by March or in March. In March? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, no, because I'm Pacific time now. I was Mountain, now I'm Pacific. This March, let's say ask about this March. Trump going to be gone in this March because y'all gave me the dream. You said by March. That we're in March now. Okay. I don't know which way he's going to be gone, but all right. I'm holding you to that, rods, guides, inner me. Tracy, are you happy? I mean, I had the dream, so I mean, I hope so, because that would be stupid if I had the dream and made the prediction and it didn't happen. So that would kind of suck. I don't know. I don't think that the 13th is bad luck, anyways. You know, there's 3 Friday the 13th this year, though. That only happens every 60-something years. So, all right. I gotta go because I gotta go to the restroom before I do my reading. Well, there's some reason he's still alive. So, all right. We're holding you to that, Rods.